Hello, CFA Nation, Gabe, and I'm here to bring you back another installment of R3 Wickets. That's right, guys, R3 Wickets. We're going to call this one R3 Wickets Super Over Sunday edition because today was Super Over Sunday. As you can see, I'm pumped, ready to go. I'm actually going to do something that I'm gonna do something that I haven't been able to do here before. It's also going to be called Super Over Sunday because, guys, we are going to cover all 4 games. That's right, of this weekend. So it's a Super Over R3 Wickets. I'm giving you 4 games. I know what you're thinking. Gabe, I don't have 2 hours of my life. It takes you half hour to do one game. I'm going to try to keep this puppy down to at least half hour, 40 minutes. So without further ado, let me get into it. First game, Saturday. We got the Royals versus RCB. And this is an interesting game, okay? The Royals once again put themselves in position to win. They've had the worst luck this season. Guys, me personally, and I asked everybody in the chat, are the Royals the most disappointing team this season? Let me know in the chat. Because when you look at the Royals, all right, you got Ben Stokes, you got Steve Smith, Josh Butler, Samju Samson, Jofra Archer. I mean, these guys, they should be better. They came out the gate, remember, and won the first 2 games. And I was like, yeah, this is, but then the walls have just closed in, guys, have just closed in. And I just think it's been a combination of bad decisions, bad play by Steve Smith, and I'm sorry, bad captaincy. I got to call it where I see it. And I'm a Smudge fan. I love Smudgy. You know what I mean? But the reality is, it's funny. We'll talk about his interview later on after the game. But he said, hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it? But he even admits, yeah, I made a bad decision. I probably should have Archer go in there in the 19, try to take down AB, or at least get a better, a lower total as far, so that, AB didn't have this ungodly performance. I didn't realize that AB was who he was. I didn't realize he was a Greek god, all right, that had basically the blood of Apollo and or whatever. What's another god like Zeus? You know what I mean? Those guys, it's insane. This guy, his performance was probably one of the most impressive I've seen all season. But with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into this match. All right, guys. What did I like? Again, I like that they're working on trying to improve things. What do? They brought in Uthappa. At first, everybody's like, Uthappa, really? He opened up 41 runs on 22 balls. That's a 186 strike rate, okay? I was like, okay, this will work. Okay? He put in a pretty good performance. Then Steve Smith actually lowered himself in the order because he'd been struggling, right? Early on, he kept losing his wicket, and I just think it kept putting his team in a bad position. So I'm going to give him credit as a captain. He put himself in at the end, and guess what? Steve Smith did his job. He did not get the Smith into the 19th, actually the 20th over, right? And at that point, he was 57 for 36. This was a huge game for him, half century, and at least his play got back on par. I felt really good about this game. I said, yeah, I think that they got a shot to win. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, it did not happen. Why? Because something that normally doesn't happen, or it hasn't happened too often this year, the score got chased right there. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I was wrong. Jeffrey on the bowling side, what did I like? Jofra Archer did Jofra Archer things, man. You know what I mean? People that say he's overrated, really? He went almost 4 overs, 3.4. He gave it up there at the end, but man, it's Sharjar, okay? It's Sharjar. We're gonna talk about some of the decisions later on, but really, you look at this game and you think they should have won. They were in a position to win, especially when you see how early, and I mean early, some of the players on RCB got dismissed. But what did I like again? Steve Smith's performance stepped up, and Uthappa. I think that should be an opening partnership. I do, because it lengthens that batting lineup, put Uthappa up at the top. I think it was, like Nick would say, experiment successful. Experiment successful. Okay. What did I like on the other side? Okay. RCB, I gotta say, I've come to expect Pataku to have a great opening. 35 runs, 37 balls, under 100 strike rate. But again, he gives you that roughly 30 runs that you want out of your opener before he loses his wicket. And I'll take that any day of the week, okay? Virat Kohli's been doing Virat Kohli things. He had a few slow games earlier this year, and now it's 50, 70, 50, 43 on 32 balls in this game, 134 strike rate. He was amazing. But what did I like? Oh my gosh, AB de Villiers, 55 runs, 22 balls. That's a 250 strike rate. Guys, 250 strike rate. Holy cow. This guy, I was like, he's done. He's done. That just goes to show that I don't know what Kohli was thinking when he pushed him back so far a few games ago. Because this guy is absolute, and we've seen him run between the wickets, right? He is an expert running between the wickets. There's no reason that AB should be going, behind other dudes. I mean, he needs to come in 4 in this lineup. And bottom line, I don't care how early Finch loses his wicket or Pataku, but you cannot waste AB de Villiers to the end. Don't try to look at what spinners are coming up, or don't look at matchups. Just put the guy in there. This guy, I mean, his performance, guys, you got to understand, this game was over. They had 2, and that's what I said, this game is over. They had, 3 overs. And in 3 overs, I want to say they scored, it was 45 runs. I mean, I could break it down over by over, but it was absolutely disgusting. It was. And I'm thinking to myself, what just happened here? What just happened? And it was upsetting. I'm not going to even lie. I'm like, what just happened? Matter of fact, here we go. RCB, 20th over. They put up 11 runs. All right, 11 runs. They end up winning, and they didn't even need the full the full over. Okay, he ended it on a monster 6, by the way, people. Lit Jofra Archer up. That was the 20th over. 19th over, 25 runs. 25 runs. That was the biggie right there. 19th over, Steve Smith, again, should have probably put Archer in there. So, again, you're looking at 36 runs now, right? 25 and 36, simple math right there. I mean, 25 and 11, right? 36. And then 18th over, that was the 19th over. 18th over, they had 10 runs, right? So 36, that's 46 runs in 3 overs. So coming into the 18th over, I'm like, this game is over. They're not covering, they needed, I think, because they only won by 2 runs, right? If I'm not mistaken, they're not covering 45 runs in 3 overs. No, they didn't. They actually got 47 runs. It's disgusting. 46 runs, whatever it was. It's disgusting. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely insane. And it's frustrating as a guy who wanted to see the Royals do well. And maybe if RCB loses, that third spot is now up for grabs as well. So there's still a lot of movement to be had, but I think this might have solidified them as a 3rd place team. That 4th place is going to be up and down, I'm telling you. But with that being said, that was really the Royals side. That was unbelievable performance. Honorable mention, by the way, okay. Where somebody explain to me where Morris has been. Holy cow. Morris was absolutely amazing. And in Sharjah, by the way, this game was in Sharjah. Okay. This was in Dubai. My apologies. But even so, 4 overs, 26 runs, 4 wickets. He had a 4-4 peeper. Yum, 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 yum. Delicioso. Just taking those scalps. Give me those scalps. Oh, man. He came in the game and said, I want my scalps. And he had some big wickets as well, man. So, Chris Morris, hats off to you, my friend. The Royals won. Good on you, RCB fans. On the other side, what did I hate? What did I hate about this match? Again, the decision by Steve Smith, if I'm going to praise him for getting his batting together, I've got to crush him. I got to do it. Why? Why do you put Udaka in there in the 19th over? What are you doing? You bowl your best bowler in the 19th over so that you leave yourself some room for mistake in the 20th over. Okay, Archer, again, did get touched up, but I guarantee you he's not giving up the 25 like Udaka did. Are you kidding me? Maybe Archer even gets a wicket there and gets AB de Villiers. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm mad at both Steve Smith, but I'm also mad at Udaka. What were you doing? I think he only threw like one Yorker, man. He got lit up like a Christmas tree. I never want to see him bowl in the death overs again. Never. Oh my God, that was horrible. Horrible. And it just goes to show. That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, people are going to say, so Gabe, you were wrong. I was wrong. Fine. You can chase. The numbers are still in favor of batting first, but they're evening out quickly because I think this over the weekend there were 4 more games total that were chased. Okay, I think 1 successful defense, so the numbers are evening out quickly. But with that being said, guys, come on. How often does this happen? There were a few big drops in this game as well. Not as big as the second game I'm going to talk about, my guys, but come on. Did you expect AB de Villiers to be able, in 3 overs between him, and who was his partner? I even forget. Well, of course, AB de Villiers was out there at the end, and I want to say it was him and Singh. Yeah. Gurpreet Singh. Did you expect them to be able to cover? To be able to cover 40? It was 40. They did 45 runs in 3 innings, or 46 runs in 3 innings. Really? You expected that? Because I didn't. That's insane to me. That's insane to me, man. Not when you got Archer that you could have bowled bowled. And I mean, it was just like, I hated that move. I hated the move. I realized that one way or another, everybody else was out of overs, so you were gonna have to put him in there to bowl. But even so, if that's the case, put him in the 20th over with a better over in the 19th, so it's less pressure on him. I think, and even Steve Smith in the interview, this interview right over here, said, you know what, hindsight's a beautiful thing, but yeah, I thought that with his cutters, he'd be able to get him, and I was wrong. So if Steve Smith could say it, I could say it, I was wrong, but that's what I hated. What did I hate on the RCB side? All right, guys, again, first and foremost, where has Chris Morris been? I don't understand, okay? RCB, one of the things I said is, their bowling is a little suspect. I love Chahal. Chahal's been a revelation. He's been really good all year long. Washington Sundar was really good as well. But where's Chahal been? I mean, and not where's Chahal. Where's this guy been? I mean, I don't get it. Really, he only gets in because somebody dropped. He should have been there from the very beginning. All right. Udana, 3 overs, 43 runs. My man almost crossed the Jordan line. Almost got rocked. Actually, we're going to change that to the Gabe line after the performance by Jordan today. But, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I think Jordan line is actually funny there, though. Or we can have the crying Gabe face, one or the other. You guys let us know. Decide. But, RCB guys, honestly, you're thinking about it right now. As far as their batting is concerned, Finch, we got to talk about it. Finch has not had, he's not looked right. He hasn't. He loses his wickets. Usually, as Nick says, you don't want to lose your any of your wickets in the power play. If I'm correct, this is probably the 5th time he's done it so far this year. Like, guys, Finchy is hurting this team. He is. And maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's hiding an injury. I don't know. 14 for 11. I repeat, 14 for 11. It's a 127 strike rate. But again, you get out that early. Now you're putting pressure on the other batsmen. Luckily, the other batsmen did their job. Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers specifically. But you know what? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Finchy needs to move out of the opening spot. And maybe you take Padikkal and Virat Kohli, and we've seen Padikkal and Virat Kohli literally another time Finch dropped his wicket early, where they basically made it all the way to the end, right? And that's an opening partnership for the most part, because I think that time Kohli might have come in the 2nd or 3rd over, and maybe that'll take pressure off of Finch if you've got Padikkal and Virat Kohli opening up. Finch comes in at 3. By that time, you're probably out of the power play. You've got 50, 60 runs already, and then okay, maybe a Finchy performs better there. Who knows? Who knows? All right, guys, what did I learn? Well, first and foremost, I learned that, yes, scores can be chased. Okay, the numbers are starting to bear fruit. I can admit where I'm wrong. Is it completely skewed the other way? No, but 4 out of 5 or out of the last 5 games have been chased down. Okay, the pitches are slowing down a little bit. What I learned is very simple. On the Royals side, I learned that this team's unlucky, but sometimes you make things unlucky. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? If something bad happens to you, okay, just think about life in general. Let's say you lose the lottery or whatever, or you go to the casino and you gamble and then you lose the mortgage payment. You know what I'm saying? You go bankrupt, whatever. Yeah, that's bad luck, but technically you put yourself in a position to be unlucky. Why? Because if you didn't gamble in the first place, you wouldn't have lost that money. Does that make sense? Sometimes you create your own bad luck, is what I say. And I think that the Royals have created their own bad luck on more than one occasion by the poor batting of Steve Smith, earlier this year, and then by the poor decision of Steve Smith to this year by not bowling at Archer, I should say, in the 19th and putting him in the 20th. I mean, everybody bowls your best bowler in the 19th. I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. But it is what it is. What did I learn on the RCB side? First and foremost, A.B. de Villiers. The guy's a national treasure. There better be a statue of A.B. de Villiers in South Africa, all right, in the capital. He better be able to walk through the streets of South Africa and just be kissed, and people just randomly come up to him and hand him, lays of flowers and stuff. Because this guy's a savage. He's an absolute savage. My goodness. He is 55 runs, 22 balls. Again, guys, that's a 250 strike rate. And he did it under pressure. And he did it again. Yeah, that's what people are saying. Maybe Steve Smith, maybe if it happens anyway, because he was hitting Archer pretty good. He probably doesn't hit Archer for 25 there in that over. But yes, A.B. de Villiers was a man possessed and single-handedly won this game. So I learned how good he is. And I learned that, man, South Africa's team how have they not won more championships? Quentin de Kock, probably the top wicket keeper this year, behind K.O. Rahul, right? Quentin de Kock's been amazing. South African. A.B. de Villiers, Rabada, he's the top. He leads the purple cap. Okay, South African. Norkia, another guy, South African. Faf du Plessis, probably the best player on my Super Kings. Okay, CSK. He's won games for them single-handedly with his bat and his defense. South African. I mean, A.B. This squad is how haven't they won more championships? Wow, this team and those players are absolutely stacked, and that's what I learned, how much talent South Africa has. All right, guys, now to change gears, let's move to match 34. And match 34, guys, was a tough one for me. Saturday was tough. That's why this video is coming out today, because I couldn't even do a video and bring myself to it. The first one hurt with A.B. de Villiers, but if the first one hurt, this one broke me. My wife had to come in, and she was, as I'm recording at the end, she sees me going nuts. She has me a water. Later on, brings me tea because my voice is all hoarse. I'm like, this was a painful, absolutely painful game. I could not believe it. DC Capitals, CSK. CSK was set to win this game, guys. Set to win this game. Why? Because the reality is, guys, that DC without Rashid Pant is not the same team. Why? Because it also cost them Hitmeyer. And their strength is that they can lose one of their openers or even their first 3 guys early and still win the game because they're so balanced. They go 7 deep easily, and those guys can all give you 20 or 30 runs, okay? But when you take out Rashid Pant and Hitmeyer, it really hurts because now you're counting on Axar Patel, which, he did a fabulous job. We'll talk about him later. But you're counting on Carey. Alex Carey, 4 runs, 7 balls. Ooh, not looking too good, okay? Reyna, those are the replacements right there. Everybody else is the same, but Alex Carey and Reyna. Reyna got 8 runs on 10 balls. Alex Carey, 4 runs on 7 balls. Now go back and look at what Pant does every game, guys, between 25 runs and 30 runs, and look at Hitmeyer. Double digits every game. That's all you got to know. That's how balanced this team is. But without Pant, it has really hurt this team. And I think that was a perfect opportunity for CSK to come in and get a win, and they put themselves in a position to get a win. But alas, things went wrong again. First and foremost, score 185 by 179, 185 by 179 at Sharjah, by the way. At Sharjah, by the way. And of course, the Delhi Capitals. Oh, Delhi Capitals. Oh, glorious Delhi Capitals. They won by 5 wickets, 185 to 5. They did win it, by the way, on the last ball, right? And when the last over, I should say, it was 19.5. So in the last over, so CSK almost defended. I would have been happy if this was the game where CSK was able to defend that score. See, oh gosh, I mean, you got to be kidding me. Why? But let's get into the game. So first and foremost, what did I like? I liked CSK is making changes. They realized they need to make changes. This team was at the very beginning, it's like being in a golf, if you've ever played golf, right? Golf tournament, right? You're so good that you're going to start strokes back. I'm giving you 4 or 5 strokes or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this team started off like that. They lost their biggest batsman, in my opinion, especially their biggest Indian batsman outside of Kohli, Raina. So now they've tried to replace Raina, and they have not been able to do so all season long, okay? Raidu played well so far this year, but hasn't been Raina, and then he missed a few games earlier. So that's really killed them. They don't have that luxury. Everybody got to hit in order for this team to win, okay? Everybody, no questions asked. So let's look at this. What did I like? I like, once again, Faf and Shane Watson. When these guys hit, they hit. And Faf, 58 runs on 47 balls. We mentioned he's been one of the guys also chasing the purple cap. He is amazing. South Africa has amazing talent. Shane Watson, 36 runs, 28 balls, also playing well. And, these guys lasted for a while. 47 balls, 28 balls. They did their job. And that was really where you're just like, you got to be kidding me. Ambiti Raidu did his best for this game. 45 runs. He was the second highest scorer, 25 balls. You got Jadeja. He got 33 runs on 13 balls. I mean, the batting was not bad outside of 2 people. We'll talk about that shortly. But they put themselves in a position to win. 179 is not a bad score at Sharjah. You've seen that it's been slowing down. They put themselves in a position to win. And I'm like, I can't believe the results. What did I like on the bowling side? Well, guys, quietly, Chahar, in every game, look at it. He's got his economy rate for this one, by the way, was 450 at Sharjah. He had, I'm sorry. Deepak Chahar, he had 4 overs, 18 runs and 2 wickets. This guy is quietly probably CSK's best bowler, okay? I know there's big names, Dwayne Bravo and Thakir and Satner and you name it. I mean, this guy's probably been their best bowler, most consistent bowler over the year, and that even surprised me when I was looking at his stats. He did a relatively good job, okay? And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's make it happen. And Dwayne Bravo well as well. 3 overs, 23 runs, very economic, and got himself a wicket there. Sam Curran, he faltered with the bat, but again, 4 overs, 35 runs, 1 wicket. He helps you with the bat and with the ball as an all-rounder. He's probably been one of the most important players for CSK because we just need runs so badly. So again, he's played a huge role. What did I like on the DC Capital side? Guys, this is the most balanced team. Again, they lose 2 of their top guys. In Pant and Hitmeyer, and they're still able to overcome that, okay? And when you look at the DC Capitals, I'm looking at this right now, and Dewan started off slow. The first 4 games, I think he didn't have he had an average under 30. The next 5 games so far he's played. Look at the stats. The guy's gone, he's averaging a 50 basically. Averaging a 50. He got 2 50s, I think a 40 in that span, and this 101. I mean, DeJuan is absolutely he's a savage, man. And we were clowning that sometimes he plays disinterested. He puts up the last few games, he'll put up 40, 50 and just give away his wicket. Not today. At least he didn't give it away. He tried though, but didn't give it away. All right. Again, Sirius Iyer, somebody asked in the chat, who do you think is the most impressive captain in the IPL? Indian captain, I think it's Sirius Iyer. Okay, he's a young guy and he's captaining this team that last year didn't play very well, and literally they're tied for first in the points table. I really like Sirius Iyer. I really do, and I like his captaincy. Did he bat well today? No. 23 on 23, 100 strike rate, but he averages 20. He doesn't go down, usually for 0 or 3 or 7. He gives you that average of 20, 25 runs you need, but he'll also have huge games as well. And, again, when you get 101 out of one player, that means a lot of other people didn't do stuff. But that was a huge game. 100 in an IPL is not easy. We're talking about limited overs, 20 overs. So I want to give DeJuan a round of applause with an asterisk, and we'll get to that shortly. With that being said, on the bowling side, what did I love? Rabada, it's automatic. The guy's going to get himself a wicket. There's no question Rabada's going to get a wicket. Every game, this guy's a top scout taker. I think if I had one over to bowl, it's going to be 2 guys this year. I mean, in the IPL, I'm giving the ball to Rabada, and I'm giving the ball to Bumrah. Okay, those are the guys. Okay, and I love Archer. You guys know I love Jofra Archer, but I don't see Rabada getting beat up like Archer got in the first game today, where he did give up 11 runs and didn't even get through the over. And sometimes Archer does leak runs. All right, as much as I love him, I also got to be objective here. Bumrah, my gosh, wait till we get to Bumrah. What he did today, this guy. These guys, to me, I can't make up my mind. They're 1 and 2, okay? 1 and 2. One of those guys are going to win the purple cap. I guarantee it. And, man, it's just so much fun to watch them bowl. So much fun to watch them bowl. You had Norkia with, again, he was a little high, all right, 44 runs. It wasn't all his fault, and we'll talk about that as well. There were a few drops on both sides in this game. Norkia, 11, but that got him his 2 wickets. And I think that has been the consistency between Norkia and Rabada. They get 2 to 3 wickets every game combined, sometimes 4, right? Each of them gets 2. I've seen Rabada get 4 wickets in a game, and these guys are so balanced. They're dominant, okay? Axar Patel, who we'll talk about later, 4 overs, 23 runs. As an all-rounder, he may be the best all-rounder next to Stoinis, who is also on this team, but you know what I'm saying? They just have so many guys that contribute in so many places. Guys, this team is dangerous. I honestly think they're going to win the championship. It's either them or Mumbai. Flip a coin. It depends where it's at and what team is healthy. But in my opinion, those are going to be the last 2 standing. All right, last of the Mohicans right there. What did I hate? Now let's go to what did I hate. Oh my gosh. Let me go. First and foremost, I hate the fact that yes, CSK lost, but it was how they lost that drove me crazy. People are going to say once again, like, you know what? Dhoni this, Dhoni that. And yes, Dhoni did not help the cause. All right. He went down by Norte got him. He went down for 3 runs on 5 overs. That's a 60 strike rate. Dhoni, I mean, right now, I don't know. He just looks frustrated. He's not the same old Dhoni. Maybe his body isn't cooperating. The layoff, I don't want to make excuses for him, guys. He's just not Dhoni. Can we agree he's not the Dhoni of the past? He's not the Dhoni of the past, all right? Sam Curran faltered, okay? Like Nick says, experiment failed. First game, he gave you 31 in that opening partnership, that experiment they're doing. Second game, he faltered, went out on a dock on 3 balls. First over, not good. That's what I hated. But what did I hate the most is how they lost. Plan was set. They were set to win, guys. And some teams are just unlucky, and that happens some seasons, My Yankees last year in Major League Baseball not this year, 2020 COVID season, but the season before that, they had every single player on the starting roster. All 25 people went on the DL or IL, which is injured reserve list. How does that happen? Your entire team gets hurt. Either that's just bad training staff or bad luck. And some of the injuries were bad luck, dumb bad luck, okay? And that's what I'm saying here. Like CSK, it's bad enough that CSK comes into the season, guys, and they already lose Reina, okay? Habaran Singh, and now they're down 2 of their guys before they play one game. Mind you, it wasn't like they knew about this way in advance. I think they lost both of them within a month of the season starting. Matter of fact, within weeks of the season starting. It's just brutal. This is brutal. They're set up to win. Let me paint you a picture here. Because if you look at the box score, and you say, oh, 185, 179. No, Delhi Capitals won this handedly. Did they really? Because the CSK was set, absolutely set. They had their plan set. What was their plan? Again, 19th over, they were going to go with, and they did, I should say, 19th over, they were going to go with, was it Sam Curran? I think, because you already had blown Chahar's 4 overs. You had blown Takor's 4 overs. And really, they could have maybe gone with Sharma. We'll talk about that shortly. But, you know, they set themselves up to succeed, in my opinion. You know what I mean? They set themselves up to succeed. And what happened at the end was absolutely brutal. I was sick to my stomach. Why? What am I talking about? Well, they set themselves up, and I loved the performance in the 19th over. Was it the 19th over? Let me think. It was, yes, the 19th over by Sam Curran. Sam Curran, listen to this. Wicket, dot. They gave up a run on a wide. Single, dot, single. 4 runs in the wicket. You figure this is over. Sam Curran did your job. I was letting Nick have it. Yes. You know, by the way, you know, thank you, Cricket for Us. Thank you for Cricket for Us for joining us on all the streams. It was so much fun. But we had 2 CSK fans like, Curran, I'm in here yelling, going nuts. Because, I mean, Curran had, you know, we Nick and I had got some backlash because we were giving them so much salt. And then they've stepped up, at least Sam Curran has, in a huge way. And I'm going nuts. And then, what do you do? 20th over, of course, you go with your best bowlers, right? 19th over, you go with your most stable bowler, best bowler. 20th over, you're going to go with one of your top guys. And then it enter Jadeja. And I'm like, whoa, wait, huh? We looked at each other. Go back to the live stream. All right, what's Bravo? Bravo's a death holder, over specialist. This is why you have him. He's got an over left. And then they cut to Bravo on a bed. It looked like a gurney with a big wrap around his thigh. And you just figured, oh my gosh, he's hurt. Don't know when the injury exactly happened. But I'm just saying, like, they were set up to win, guys. At that point, it was still 163 for 5. 163 for 5. And you're thinking, Bravo in no way will come up and give up 20. It was a 22 run over. A 22 run over! Jadeja should never touch a ball again. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Axar Patel absolutely demolished him. He's having nightmares of this game. I can't, I'm speechless. Okay, I get it. It's the death overs. A big over is considered 15 runs. Okay, granted. Take your 15 runs. 22 runs? Really? Guys, I couldn't even get it out. And they still had a ball to go. 22 runs, really? Come on, man. Again, another successful chase, which actually killed me as well. And I'm just like, why? Why, God? Why? Why is it happening to CSK this season? You know, here's a train of thought. They're unlucky, but I have to be objective. Here's my objectivity. I said in the very first episode, they're the oldest team on paper. The aggregate age is 36, right? Average age of the players are like 35.5, so I round that up to 36. You know what else comes with old age other than male pattern boldness? You know, weight gain, wisdom, which I said, does that mean experience? But injuries, your body just doesn't respond. Bravo started off the year hurt, guys. Supposedly, I don't know how true that is. Tahir hasn't bowled because he was also on the mend, hurt. You know, I mean, when you're an old team and you walk in with the oldest team on paper, you run that risk. So maybe they're unlucky, or maybe they put themselves in a position to be unlucky by having the oldest team on paper. Let me know in the chat what you think. Let me know in the chat what you think, and let me know in the comments below what you think. But they lost. Plain and simple, they lost. That's what I hated. This broke my heart. This was the worst loss I've experienced in cricket, period. As much as I love Test, and I was so upset when the West Indies lost that second game of the Test match, that if they draw that game out, and it was already for a draw, they're going to win that match. And oh my gosh, Stuart Broad, 3 balls, 14 overs. I still remember it's etched, it's burned in your brain. You can't forget it. You can't. That's when I became a Broad fan, because I hate to love him, kind of like I hated to love Michael Jordan and his performances. But this today was just brutal, because it wasn't like it was an unbelievable performance by a DC. They did what they needed to do to win. It wasn't like I got AB de Villiers, where he just, smacked me and took my heart out of my chest. No, it was another injury. Kohli had his plan laid out, and it faltered. Why? Because the 36-year-old or 35-year-old Dwayne Bravo pulled another muscle, on the mend now for the second time this year. Missed the first 2 games due to injury, and probably in one of the most important games of the year, you could have gotten a win. Right now, if they had won this, they'd be tied for 4, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I mean, honestly, I'm not sure, guys, if they can overcome their. Even if they had won this, it would have been hard to win a championship. But I'm not sure if they can overcome the woes. All right. If you got to depend on Sam Curran to get you 30 runs in order to win a game, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Okay. And that's just the reality of it. They did everything right and still lost this game, because you created the bad luck by having such a old team on paper. That's just the reality. I got to call it how I see it. I got to, guys. So that's what I hated. I mean, not to take anything away from the DC Capitals, that's what I hated. With that being said, though, okay, this is what I hated. You create your own bad luck, okay? What else did I hate? More than Dwayne Bravo's injury, because there's nothing you can do. Okay, the guy got injured. He's 35. You knew that coming in. I talked about the 100 that the War had. I'm not throwing any salt on his name. He's a fabulous player. But I guarantee you, if you give any player in the CPL, because they're all fabulous players, these are all the top guys. That's why they get drafted and paid so much money. But any legitimate batsman that you give 3 extra outs, okay, 3 extra wickets, because he should have been out 3 times. 3 times he got dropped in this game. They're probably going to get close to 100. If not, I mean, that's just being real. That's just being real. I mean, the one I cannot understand. I cannot understand. On top of Dhoni talked about the poor fielding. This is about the second or third game where drops absolutely kill you. Earliest this year, we had the one by the core, which absolutely killed me. I'm like, why? Why? This one, Dhoni, you never see him drop one. Okay, it was in his glove, dropped it. I mean, it was a tough play, but I've seen him make harder plays in that. But it's like it's what can go wrong will. What can go wrong will. And that's what's driving me crazy with the CSK losses. 3 drop balls. Guys, at the risk of sounding cheesy, catches win matches. Bottom line, you give any athlete a second opportunity and you're just asking for trouble. You give them a third opportunity? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're trying to go throw away the game. And that's what happened here. Because listen, without the 101, and I'm a DC fan, I picked for them to go to the championship. I've said they're the most balanced team. But without that 101, and with no Rashid Pant and Rishiv Pant and no Hitmeyer, you really think that they're gonna go ahead and chase this? Get out of here! Stop it! It doesn't happen. But that's what I'm saying. You create your own bad luck. Another game lost by bad luck. And I don't know what you do. I don't know how you fix this at this point. Honestly, I don't. Maybe we talked about it. Maybe you move up Jadeja and bat him earlier in the order. Maybe. Okay. But does that help the drops? Does that help the drops that have happened not just today, but multiple games? When you're a team and you're already coming in at a disadvantage because you've lost, Reina, and you've lost Harbaran Singh, you just put yourself in a situation where you got to play clean, okay? And now Dwayne Bravo's down too. I mean, he was down early. So you have to play better. You have to. You can't make mistakes. And in this game, 3 drops, an injury to Dwayne Bravo. That's the game in a nutshell. That's the game in a nutshell, okay? That's what I hated, all right? On DC Capitals, what did I hate? I don't want to really crush too much on this side because, again, DC Capitals did their job. They went in and won shorthanded. Okay? 2 guys I'm going to highlight on the batting side. Okay? Shaw. He got 0 runs on 2 balls. This is about the second or third time this year as an opener he's been dismissed super early. Him and Finch. I think Finch has been struggling more than he has. But you can't do that because now, you have on the CSK side, if Sam Curran, who's not a proper batsman, he's an all-rounder, not an opener, does it, that's one thing. But if you're a proper opener and you're going down on a duck, come on. You got to do better than that. You absolutely got to do better than that. And again, I don't understand this the idea. They almost lost this game on them, where I got to say, Sirius Iyer, I still think he's the best captain. I still think this is a young team. He's a young captain. I love this guy. Okay. I remember we did the Sirius Iyer. I was like, Sirius Liar. Everybody was like, oh, you know what I mean? They crushed me on it. I put some respect on his name. I do. But why would you put in Carey before Patel? Axar Patel's a proper batsman. 21 for 5. That's what he did. 420 strike rate. 420 strike rate. Carey? 4 runs. 7 balls. He saw 2 more balls than Axar Patel did. 2 more balls. He basically wasted an entire over on himself. That's a 57.14. So basically a 57 strike rate. Really? What was the decision there? Somebody explain to me, what was the thinking? If you bring Axar Patel, maybe you even win this game quicker. In my opinion. Nick I and Cricket for Americans, Asaj, we're talking about this. And we're like, yeah, that was a mistake. Why bring in Carey here? It should be Patel. And we were right. Guys. But, the game ended how it ended. What did I learn? Really simple. CSK, and people were like, Gabe, are you quitting on CSK? I have to be objective. If I'm reviewing sports, I have to be objective. I went into the playoffs and baseball. I'm a Yankee fan. I've got a Yankee tattoo on my arm. I grew up there, my family, and I said, we're not going to win the World Series this year. Okay? I've said it on this channel before it even ended. And I told Nick, it's not going to happen. We don't have enough pitching, too many guys injured, and I have to be objective. All right? This team, A, is too old. We just lost Bravo, which, again, it just kills you because he's injured now. Who knows? Is Tahir fit to play? Maybe we'll finally get to see Tahir. But that still doesn't fix the issue of runs. And if we have to count on Sam Curran to get 30 runs a game, we're in trouble. Maybe moving up Jadeja, but those glaring holes cannot be fixed, in my opinion. So I'm not giving up. I'm going to be a CSK fan, period. Buried with it. Just like with my Knicks. Oh, my God, the Knicks. I'm going to be buried with it, all right? But on the same token, I can admit, I don't think it's their season. It happens. I would love to see them make the playoffs so they can continue that consecutive streak. But even if they get into the playoffs somehow, even if they have an unbelievable, you really think, being objective, they're going to beat DC when DC has that full strength, when they got Rashiv Pant and they have Hitmeyer? You really think they're going to be able to beat a Mumbai Indians, who are the deepest team? I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches over there. They got guys for days. Oh, this guy could bowl in the depth overs. Oh, this guy too. No problem. You know what, Patterson? Pattinson, take a break. We don't even need you, even though you were our second leading wicket taker on the team. And let's bring in another dude. We'll talk about that. Okay, NCN. All right. I mean, Coulter now he had an amazing game today. We're going to talk about that one in a minute. So that's why I'm like, listen, it ain't going to happen. You just have to be objective as a fan sometimes. Do I still have faith? Yes. It's sports. Anything can happen. But I have to give an intelligent observation, and I'm thinking as a coach and not a fan. And as a coach, if I'm DC and I am Mumbai Indians, I feel pretty good about this season. I'm pretty much looking at the other team saying, yeah, that's who I'm going to have to beat in the finals to win a championship. And when I say that team, it's not any of the other teams. Not even a little bit. It's not CSK I'm worried about. It's not KKR I'm worried about. It's not even RCB I'm worried about. If I'm Mumbai, I'm worried about DC. If I'm DC, I'm worried about Mumbai. Period. The end. All right, guys? That's what I learned. You make your own bad luck, and I think, it is what it is. On the DC side, again, this team is super balanced, guys. And again, it's scary to think that in the last 2 games, all right, they split it, but they've been able to split it with losing 2 of their big main pieces. Okay, look what happens to CSK. You take Reina out of there, it completely destroys this team. Okay, throws everything out. Shiv Pant is a serious batsman. We clown that he gets dismissed on a Pantheon dismissal because he gives away his wicket, and he does. But the guy also does it with a high strike rate and 30 runs literally every game. I mean, come on, people. Come on. Hitmeyer, the guy's a savage. This team is absolutely balanced, and I believe we'll win the championship. It's going to be them or DC. Okay, I'm hoping. Now, let's go to game number 3. Game number 3. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Another one that started off, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, Gabe, really? Really? But the gods smiled on me. Why? Because Saturday was so rough. So they decided to start off Sunday for me and not destroy me. So match 35, Sunrisers versus the Kolkata Knight Riders. My boys, right? I will tell you right now, KKR is one of those teams that'll drive you crazy. They can look so good sometimes, and then they can look so bad. So bad. This game right here was really the beginning of a good day for me on Sunday, but it wasn't easy. It just didn't come that way, right, guys? I'm watching it. I'm like, what happened? What happened? Well, first thing what happened is it went to a super over, okay? First super over of the day. And let me just say, I'm thinking to myself when it goes to a super over, oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm telling you, this is crazy. Like, my nerves were racked today. So the Sunrisers, I'm going to start with what I like. Kolkata Knight Riders won the game. They won the game in super overs. What did I like? Shubman Gill, like I said, it's between him and Padikkal. As far as young batsmen, opening batsmen, him, Padikkal. Could you imagine if Padikkal or Shubman Gill was on CSK? All right, guys. These guys are so consistent. I love it. And today we had, again, what did I love? A good partnership between Shubman Gill and Rahul Tupridi. So we finally have set that top 2 order, right? 36 runs for one, 23 runs for another. That's what you want. That's what you want. And I'm like this is just a good performance. Nitish Rana performed well as well. Put him up there in the 3-hole, 29 runs on 20 balls, 145 strike rate. Andre Russell was not good today, guys. 9 on 11. He got hurt. Again, that comes with age too. He got hurt. We saw them with the big wrap on his thigh. All right. It hurt us in the super overs. Not super over. I'm sorry. It hurt us in the in the death overs as well. And that's what happens with age. But what did I really love? I killed Dinesh Karthik. I did. Okay, not literally, but I destroyed him because he had done with the worst captaincy performance, in my opinion, this year. Because he has a lot of talent on this team. All right. From keeping Reina in 6 games too many. Not Reina, sorry. Narayan 6 games too many. To putting Tripathi in, who gets him a huge 80. I think he got a 70 whenever he played. Then got a 7. And then the next game right away, you drop him. What? Let him establish himself up there. I didn't understand that. To some of his choices bowling. He's not had a good year as a captain. Can we just establish that? And why? Because he himself did the unthinkable. We laughed about it tongue in cheek, and said, hey, he should drop himself. I never expected that to happen. Understand, no American athlete would ever say, oh yeah, I can't do this. I'm hurting this team. I'm a bench myself, or I'm a turn over the captaincy. That would never happen. That shows so much humbleness. And I said that's when I became a fan of this guy. Because sometimes through failure, and I tell this to my students all this time, you succeed. And I wanted him the very next game. I wanted that game after he turned over the captaincy to work out. But it didn't. He went out on like 4 runs, reverse sweep. You can see he was searching. Today, Owen Morgan, I think, put him in a good position because Owen Morgan put him in there right after Russell. And he's already, now more, Gill's gone, Tripatti's gone, Russell's gone, Reyna's gone. And he puts him in there. And what does he give him? No out right away. Never didn't get out. 29 runs, 14 ball, 207 strike rate. This is the Karthik people were talking about. Yes, he can play. And I'm so glad. I want him to have the best season from this point out than any other player. I want him to average 40 a game, 50 a run. I want KKR so badly to win every game because it would just speak volumes of the choice he made. And that's the ultimate sacrifice to give up your captainship and be humble, right? And man, that was amazing. The partnership, 34 for Owen Morgan, the new captain, the old captain, 29, and Karthik. All I got to say is, you know what? I'm so happy that as a player, you put yourself in this position to do something very few other players would do. Okay, very few. So good on you, kid. Good on you. And you're a great player. I was wrong. I can admit when I was wrong. The captaincy pressure still got to you. You're a great player. Maybe not a great captain, but a great player. So, wow, that's what I loved. That's what I loved, okay? On the bowling side, you know what? They did what they normally do. Patty Cummings, the best a man could be. 4 overs, 28 runs, 1 wicket, 7 economy rate. The guy is an absolute savage, okay? Chakrabarti, 4 overs, 32 runs, another wicket. Loki Ferguson. Let's talk a little about a guy named Loki Ferguson. Where have you been? Where have you been? Oh, listen to this line. It's sexy. 4 overs, 15 runs. That's right. I did not mistake in that. 15 runs and 3 wickets. But wait, there's more. Loki Ferguson also got 2 wickets in the super over. 5 for a day today. Go good on you, kid. Loki Ferguson, this guy wasn't playing. He wasn't playing. He's only playing because they dropped Reyna. They should not drop. I'm sorry, I love Reyna, but they should not bring Reyna back because he was not dominating the way Loki Ferguson dominated today. Holy cow. Loki Ferguson had the game of all games. With his arm, he made it also an unbelievable boundary save that also helped them get to that super over. Loki Ferguson, I loved it. I love it. Loki Ferguson was amazing. What did I love on SRH side? Here's the thing. SRH is one of those teams that's very, very interesting. And, David Warner as a captain said, I'm going to try something different. I'm putting Kane Williamson in at opener. What? You got 2 aggressive dudes like Bairstow and Kane Williamson? Because, listen, I said if you lose Bairstow early or you lose Warner early, you're not winning. You're not. Okay? You need that consistency. And to me, whenever Warner does fold early, it's done because Bairstow can't play tests and still succeed. He has to play his aggressive game. But today, it worked out. These guys, both of them, let's see, 36 runs for Bairstow on 28 balls, 128 strike rate. Kane Williamson, 29 balls on 29 runs on 19 balls, 152 strike rate. You love it. You got to love it. That's a great partnership. That's a fabulous partnership, okay? These guys came for business, okay? I mean, it worked out. And oh, wait, by the way, David Warner, 47 runs, no out. 47 runs, no out. So he did his job. He put his team in a position to win, okay? Other guys faltered, okay? Guard, 4 runs, 7 balls. We'll talk about that when we talk about what we don't like. But these guys did their job. On the bowling side, what did I like? What did I like? Guys, you guys already know Rashid Khan, to me, I think is one of the most respected bowlers. Okay, he is. A lot of people fear him. Again, four overs, 28 runs, and a wicket. But can we give Natarajan some love? If you don't know his story, check it out, where he came from to even be here. But I love this guy, and he was expensive. 4 overs, 4 runs, so that's a 10 economy rate, easy math to do. But he got himself 2 wickets, 2 huge wickets. Natarajan, I'm telling you, this guy is an absolute savage. I love him. I'll have him on my team, and between him and Rashid Khan, I really, really like their chemistry bowling. All right. I really, really do. That's what I love. What did I hate on this game? What did I hate? First and foremost, I got to say, let's go back to the KKR Knight Riders. Andre Russell. Is it age too, guys? Guys, he's been injured this year, often hobbled. Okay. 9 runs, 11 balls, and you saw him. He pulled his hamstring. He was making a defensive play, a stop, and then they had to wrap it up or whatever. He had this big gauze all around his thigh, and I'm thinking, there's no way he's gonna bowl. Apparently, yes, they put him to bowl. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Which is part of the reason we had to go to a super over. And again, this is one of those situations, guys, where I get it. It happened in baseball, by the way, this year too. Because of the COVID season, players didn't have the offseason. They didn't have their normal regimen, normal routine. Guys that were absolutely great were horrible this year. Okay, unexplainable. Look up a guy that plays for the Milwaukee Brewers. Wow. His
Christian
name escapes me right now. But he's like their best player. The guy hit 200 this year. The guy hit 200. Lefty batsman for the Milwaukee Brewers. And I'm like, what happened? A lot of players in Major League Baseball just did not play what their regular game is. And it was because this wasn't a regular season. Maybe that's getting to some players as well. In cricket, you can't take 6 months off and then just throw people back in the fire and think they're going to perform the way they normally do. So, Andre Russell, I'm sorry. I did not like your performance today. And it's one of those situations where it's age maybe, but also a combination of the COVID season. But you just got to use, you can't be a fanboy. You got to be able to look at it and say, yeah, this guy hurt his team. Okay. He was the most expensive bowler too. Again, probably due to his injury. 2 overs, 29 runs. That's a 1450 strike rate, guys. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, oh man, it's no wickets. Maybe they should have just sat him, but again, the injury happened in game, so we'll see what happens. With that being said, Sunrisers. What did I not like about the Sunrisers? This team, they're such a Jekyll and Hyde team. I think that the move was correct to put Kane Williamson and Burstow and the partnership that worked out. It wasn't their fault. David Warner did his job. Garg, man, he was bad today. 4 runs, 7 balls. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? It's just one of those situations, guys, where you got to have more than 3 guys hit. 3 guys cannot carry your team. It cannot be, and normally it's Warner and Bairstow, but you can't just have Warner, Bairstow, and Williamson, or Warner, Bairstow. I know Garg had one huge game earlier. Pandy, I don't know what's going on with him. The first 2 games he was great, and then he's just really tapered off, guys. But that's just they're just not balanced enough. They're too top heavy with those 2 guys, and the rest of the guys aren't stepping up. They're just not. That's just not. What did I learn about this game? First of all, this was one of the best super overs I've ever seen because it was bowling that dominated in the super over. Yes, you're right. They won the Super Bowl, the super over, and listen to what happened in the super over. I got to just, give you the play-by-play. Loki Ferguson comes out. He's already got 3 wickets under his ball. Oh, I'll just take another 2. Yum, 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 yum. Delicioso. Just taking scalps, taking them. Give me those wickets. And Loki Ferguson is an absolute savage. Went out there and actually dominated. He went again and got, let's make sure. I got to read this. Ferguson gets Samad, right? He got Samad, and he also got David Warner out. What a super over, okay? Here was his super over. Wicket to wicket. Wicket to wicket. You hear me? Wicket to wicket. What a super over. One of the greatest super over bowling performances I've ever seen. Wow, Loki Ferguson, he better be on this team. He better be a mainstay. They better not say, okay, Rainer, you're coming back next game. Rainer has helped you win all year long. Loki Ferguson literally won this game for you single-handedly today. So I'm going to tell you, he better stay in this lineup, okay? Again, this was a bowling super over, though. Why? Because on the Coquetta Knight Riders, it was 3-0, but it was a tough earned 3, guys. It was a tough earned 3. And let me just, it ended up being, what did it end up being? Let's see. He ended up getting 3 runs, and it was, oh wow, where is it? There we go, Rashid Khan, and Karthik put himself in a super over again. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love Owen Morgan's belief in him. I like the fact that he gave him the captaincy, and he said, I respect you for that. And I'm talking about Owen Morgan, and now Owen Morgan is showing his captaincy and saying, I'm gonna prop you up and lift you up, not push you down. And they won this game together. This is such a beautiful story. You can't write it any better. This is Hollywood stuff, okay? And Rashid Khan bowled well, guys. He only gave up 3 runs in the super over, but it was enough. It was enough when the other team only got 2 because of Loki Ferguson. Wow, what a game. Last game of the day. Oh, man. Super over Sunday. It went to a super over as well. But wait, it gets better. It was a double super over. People that have been watching cricket for years said, Gabe, I've never seen a double super over. Never seen it. I'm like, me neither. Oh, boy, I am lucky. I got to say, I'm going to take a sip of my little Gabe Gatton Day coffee because I've been talking for a while. Awesome. But this was really an unbelievable game. And again, cricket for us, Asaj, he's in here, streaming with me. He's like, bro, I only came for the last 3 overs. He streamed the earlier game with me. He came back for the last 3 overs. He ended up staying for an hour because he didn't expect a double super over. This was amazing. This was probably the most amazing game I've ever seen of cricket. Okay, I would say this is the most exciting game I've ever seen. And you guys know I love tests. People continue asking me, Gabe, test or IPL, test or T20. I still love test. I really do. I fell in love with it. I love the format. But this is probably the most thrilling game I've seen, period. Live. And obviously, I'm talking about our cricket knowledge of live game watching only goes back to earlier this year during the pandemic in March, maybe. So I've seen a lot of cricket in a few times, but it's the best game I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, back and forth. Both teams, let's just put it out there. Mumbai Indians deserve to win this game. They did, but even the great Mumbai Indians weren't able to overcome the drops, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Weren't able to overcome the mistakes. Nobody is. You shouldn't be able to. But this game went to a double super over, and wow, was it thrilling. So we're talking about the Kings 11 Punjab, and we're talking about Mumbai Indians, okay? You watch this game. I'm going to start with Kings 11. What did I like? KL Rahul is a man amongst boys. He is the best batsman in the IPL this year. Bottom line, best offensive player. Okay, he's the best wicket keeper. Period. Because you got to take together the wicket keeping skills combined with the batting skills. Okay, he's in the lead for the Orange Cap. I honestly don't think anybody can catch him. Man, 77 runs on 51 balls. 77 runs on 51 balls. Okay, Agarwal fell early today, but Nicholas Puran, came in, put in work, 24 runs on in 2 overs, right? He's always got a good strike rate, 200, but he gets dismissed easily. It happens. He's or silly, kind of like Pant. They don't have that discipline that's missing. But what did I love today? The universe boss. Okay? People are going to say, but his strike rate was only 114. 24 balls on 21 runs. So 2 games, he's got 50 plus and 24 plus. Go back and watch all their games. How many guys have faltered, including today, Glenn Maxwell out on a duck. Not the first time he's done that this year. Okay. Puran himself has gone out to a low total. Okay. I mean, to get 20 runs is hard enough, guys, in IPL. All right. That's why getting a 50 is a huge deal. 24 runs, I will take that. I will sign up for that. You know, why wasn't this guy playing? I love that they won again, and he was such a big part of that win. We'll talk about that when it gets to the Super Over, okay? But he also performed in the Super Over, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, okay? What did I like on the bowling side? I got to say, you know, the reason Glenn Maxwell is here is because his economy rate was 6, right? But you got him because he's a bowler that's supposedly an all-rounder. He can bat, he can put up runs. He's not helping that way, but he's been good. Muhammad Shami, 4 overs, 30 runs. You know, that's a 750 economy rate, the second lowest economy rate. But excuse me, but you know what? 2 wickets, and we're talking 2 huge wickets. Okay, and guess what? In the Super Over, Muhammad Shami probably had the most, I would say, clutch performance. Lucky Ferguson was amazing with his 2 wickets in the Super Over. But Muhammad Shami came into a situation in the Super Over, and we'll talk about that, where it's basically, oh my gosh, I've got to face Pollard. I've got to face, you know, the best players on Mumbai. Take your pick. And he held the score down, and got them to that second Super Over, which they eventually won. All right. Mumbai refused to lose today. Get this. Mumbai Indian fans, somebody said, guys, Gabe, don't be too harsh on them. They played great. They did. Despite the drops, despite the horrible no call by the official, which, yes, Quentin DeCock, he should have appealed as well. Should have heard it. But you got to look at his vantage point. He's looking from behind. You're the umpire. Your job is to be looking, not listening for the sign, but also you're looking forward. You've got the best vantage point. When you get and they said this in the dugout view, I thought it was hilarious. If you cannot trust a New Zealander, then who can you trust? The appeal, he was begging for it. When I tell you begging for it, he was begging for it. Both like and he didn't get it. That's brutal. That's brutal. And then in that same over, not only did he didn't get the wicket that he should have got there. Somebody gets dropped. There's another ball that gets a hit that should have been a dot, but goes for a boundary. That killed his economy rate today. And Trent Bolt got a bad break. Okay, it was bad luck. Sometimes you make a little bit of your bad luck. We're talking about the drops on Mumbai Indians. We're also talking about the missed fielding opportunity. But honestly, Quentin DeCock, you're the closest one there. He didn't hear it. Umpire, do your job. You guys always say, Gabe, look, you're wrong with the umpire. You're wrong with the umpire. Fine, I'm wrong a lot. But I'm not paid professionally to do that job. They are. That was horrible umpiring. Horrible. I'm glad Mumbai lost. But you cannot play the other team and the umpires as well. You can't. Okay, I've told that to umpires. I can't beat them and you. I got kicked out of the game for saying that, but that's just being real. Okay, you shouldn't have to go out there like feeling like you're not just trying to beat the other team, but you're trying to beat the umpire. And honestly, today the umpiring was atrocious. And I feel bad for Trent Bolt because he deserved a better fate. Okay, that's just being real. All right, but you know, with that being said, as I'm watching this game, I'm not going to take anything away from the Kings 11, okay? I'm not going to take anything away from the Kings 11. They won, but let's be honest, they got a little bit of help for the umpires, and that was unfortunate. On the Mumbai side, what did I like? I like the fact that they're as deep as DC, maybe deeper, okay? They asked me the question, who do you name the top 4 or just name your top Indian captains? And I put Rohit Sharma, I think, at 4, right? I might have put number 1, Shreyas Iyer. I love what he's done with a team that last year wasn't good, right? And he's the youngest captain. I love what he's done. All right, he's number 1. Number 2, I think I put Virat Kohli in there because his team out of the 3 teams that are up there is the worst, okay? Compared to DC, who's balanced, and Mumbai Indians. I put Rohit Sharma, I think, at 3 or 4. Guys, Rohit Sharma, it's an embarrassment of riches. He doesn't have to make a decision. It doesn't matter who he throws out there. They all perform. We're clowning this guy, and I mean clowning when he comes in. We're like, "Where's Pattinson? He's leading this team. He's a pace bowler. He's in the hunt for the purple cap, right? Taking wickets. Why sit him? Oh, he's got to rest. Well, it'd be nice to have that luxury, but you can when you got a guy named NCN. Okay, Coulter now, listen to what he did, not just with the bat, but with the ball. It's an embarrassment of riches over there. All right, Coulter now, you know I love me some bowling. 4 overs, 33 runs. That's an 825 economy rate. 825 economy rate. Wait, there's more. Let's see what he gives you with the stick. Glenn Maxwell, what did he give the Kings 11 with the stick, right? What did he give him with the bat? How many runs? 0. A donut. On the other side, what did you get out of NCN? No out on 24, 200 strike rate. I repeat, no out, 24 runs, 12 balls, so 2 overs basically, 200 strike rate. Really? Really? It doesn't matter. Mumbai Indians, it doesn't matter who they go out there, they perform. On a day when you got screwed by the umpires on probably one of the worst calls I've seen an umpire make this year, on a day when you had multiple drops, multiple missed fields, again, go back and watch that inning. Go back and watch that inning, and it was early on with Blunt, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is so tough. I felt bad for him. I did. And they still got it to a super over, not just one super over, but another one. They refused to lose. What did I love? You can literally just keep throwing guys out there, and all their guys perform. All their guys perform. You know what's funny? Rohit Sharma goes on 9 runs, right? We'll talk about what I didn't like. 9 runs on 8 balls. You would think any other team loses their best player on 9 runs and they're done. They're cooked food. Rohit Sharma almost won another game when he didn't do anything with the bat. And I mean, it's happened before. This team is just so stacked. I mean, I'm hating on them, but Mumbai Indians, they're going to be in the championship. Let's just be real. Okay. And they are stacked. You had, oh my God, Pollard, 34 runs on 12 overs. That's a 283 strike rate. This is the Pollard I saw in the CPL. The guy that was a nightmare, a tear every single game. And honestly, guys, Pollard they don't count on him. They bat him 7th. They bat him 6th. I mean, he needs to bat higher. Give him some more time, first and foremost. Who am I to tell Rohit Sharma to do? But I'm just saying, maybe if you bat him a little bit earlier, he can give you some bigger runs. I get it. You don't need him, but he also bowls well. I mean, Pollard, again, 2 overs, 26 runs, 13 strike rate. He's the guy's a man amongst boys. Just saying. He's a man amongst boys. Let's just be real. With that being said, what did I hate? Let me start with Mumbai. I hate the fact that they got jobbed. We say jobbed here. You get screwed by the umpires. People say, Gabe, you're so tough on umpires. You know what, umpires, at least in America, maybe it's different. I don't know. Do umpires make more than school teachers out there? I doubt that umpires need to get a master's degree. You know how much schooling I've done to be a teacher and have a master's? Okay. You know what umpires make here in America? These guys make $150,000 a year. These guys make huge money. Do your job. You're a professional. You're getting paid to do it. That was the worst call, I think, umpiring call I've seen this year. It truly was. And I feel bad that happened. Even though I'm not rooting for Mumbai Indians, I can be objective. There's no place in the game for that. That was horrible. This is why umpires make me furious, guys, because you see it all the time. And people are going to say, but everybody, it's human element. Guys, they get paid a lot of money. They're professional. I'm not. You're not. They are. They get paid to do one job and one job only, umpire these games. And that was a huge turning point in the game. He gets that wicket. There's not even a first super over. Let's be real. That's what I hated. I can't even hate on Mumbai's performance because they got to a second super over. Okay, we're going to talk about the drops. We're going to talk about the misfield because you create bad luck. But that's what I hated the most on Mumbai Indian side. It was how bad the umpires were, and it was rough. Then the drops. I always say, catches win matches, and I know it's a cliche. You guys actually told me that when I was watching, which is why Campbell was a big first guy with drops. that really killed the West Indies. So it's etched in my mind. But there's been worse drops than what Campbell did in that West Indies, if I'm being completely honest, here in the IPL. There's been some bad drops, guys. And you've seen that you cannot overcome 2 or 3. Just in this weekend, you saw a DC win because the wall got dropped 3 times and got 100 runs. You can't do that. You're just killing yourself. Play defense. Misfielding kills as well. I mean, again, it was a ball that should have been stopped for a dot, and it was earlier on. It was, man, I want to say it was Bolt early on innings. So Bolt bowled in, I'm going over because I want to tell you how this inning got away from him, and then you think to yourself, oh yeah, Bolt had a bad over there, and you feel bad for him. You do. And then you're like, okay, well, Bolt didn't bowl that poorly. He didn't. He did not bowl poorly. It was just a bad over, and it was really spurred on by the umpires. So, okay, let me I'm just looking for this right now. That was the first over. Okay, Bolt bowled the first over. Gave up the 9 runs. Was that the one where there's going to be the review? Agarwal pushes it to the edge. Might have got to his feather. Nope, that's not the one. Gave up 9 runs in that first over, right? Single, 4, dot, single, 2. Then he comes in again in the third over, right? First and third. It might have been the third over. And 4, Chahar. Okay, 4, misfield by Chahar. This is the over. 4, misfield by Chahar. Okay, at cover point. Pushed it back, and basically it was a dot ball. It ended up turning into a 4. So now you got this guy rattled. He's upset. You can tell, visibly upset. All right. 4, Bolt goes to the bouncer, and then KO Rahul to Bolt, middle stump. Was this the one where they also missed the? Okay, he gives up the 6 to KO Rahul. Then, 20 runs this over. I'm trying to figure out which was the ball because they didn't give it to me here, but it was one ball where it should have been challenged and it wasn't. And I'm thinking to myself, why? But the umpire shouldn't even have put Quinton de Kock and Rohit Sharma in that position. He went for 20 runs. Okay, you got the misfield that goes for 4. You should have already had a wicket there. Okay, you didn't get the wicket, and I believe it was Agarwal or somebody or Rahul, one of them. I can't remember exactly, but I'm like, come on, man, this is just bad, guys, and it was upsetting. And I mean, you look at it, and it's like that was the game. 20 runs in that first. In that third over. Guys. I mean, it's just it's brutal. It's brutal. That's what I hate. What did I hate on Kings 11 side? Agarwal went out early, and I'm not even going to say that I hated that because you know what? This has been the most consistent partnership all year long, so I'm not going to kill him for 1 game or even 2 games. He's done his job all year long, okay? That's not really what I'm going to kill him about. On the Kings 11 side, what did I hate? Once again, Jordan made me look bad because 3 overs, that should be what should I love, 32 runs, all right? He got himself a wicket, and I'm like, whoa, he's making me look bad. But good on you, Jordan. Good on you. But what did I hate? Guys, Glenn Maxwell, 0 runs? You can't give me 10? You can't give me 5? You can't give you, if you literally give me 1 more run, just 1, we don't got to go to the Super Over. Just 1 run. Just 1. I mean, you're supposed to be an all-rounder. You're supposed to be able to hit. You're not hitting. You're killing this team. You're killing this team, and it's killing me. It is absolutely killing me. Luckily, Huda showed up. But again, this team also is so top-heavy that if it wasn't KO Rahul, or Agarwal batting, it was done. Because Perron is hit or miss. He's going to give you 20 or 30, but he's going to get dismissed early because that's just, he doesn't have the discipline, kind of like Rashid Pant. Finally, they got Chris Gale, who's given some stability to the batting lineup. All right. But again, I mean, Maxwell, I just think he needs to be dropped. Let me know in the comments, what do you think he needs to be dropped? All right. Now, What did I learn? Let's get to this super over. The most exciting game part of this game, the super over. You guys call for super overs so often, and I hate them. Renil loves calling for super overs because your heart drops. But this is the only thing I can equivalent to in professional sports is the penalty shootout in soccer, right? The shootout at the end of the game. This was amazing. This is amazing. Double super over, okay? And you think it's done, right? Because they got both. Not both. They got Boomerang, who I missed talking about him earlier because he's always good as a bowler. Let's just be real. But they got Boomerang. And Boomerang, on top of getting himself 3 wickets earlier, you know what Boomerang did today? He also got himself 2 wickets in the super over. All right? My man was a savage. Scalp taker. The pressure he can handle. I was like, man, I had an opinion that Chris Archer above Boomerang. It was probably Rabada, Archer, Boomerang. Now I got to say it's Rabada, Boomerang, Archer. Okay? Boomerang's performance today was unbelievable. What did I learn? He is the most clutch death over a specialist. And even though I might take Rabada in general, I think Boomerang may be slightly better in the death overs. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But those are 1A and 1B. Those guys aren't. It's the both number ones. It's just who do you go with? You can't lose. You know what I'm saying? On the Kings 11 side though, what did I love? What did I learn? Muhammad Shami, man, pressure. It's pressure when you go out there and man, I've got to face Pollard, who's a man amongst boys. I've got to go ahead and face Rohit Sharma. I got to go ahead and face Quinton de Kock. And he went and did his job. Super over. Oh my gosh, guys. This was amazing. And I'm like, his own teammates were hugging him. Because it was such an unbelievable performance. I mean, guys, this is a super over, by the way, okay? First, it's a double super over. First over, right, of the super over. You got 5 runs, 2 wickets, okay? 5 runs, 2 wickets. Boomerang was not messing around. Hold that, cousin, all right? He got 2 really good batsmen. And KL Rahul got him. He ended up getting Boomerang, Purana as well. Nicholas Purana. Not to be outdone, though. Muhammad Shami gets Quinton de Kock, arguably the best batsman, I should say, today for the Mumbai Indians, and then he's able to defend, and it was amazing. Was able to defend and get out of that over. That was just guts. That was the things that true players are made of. And it was just amazing. Then second super over. All right. This time Kings 11 bowling first. You've got I can't make this up. Jordan in there, right? First run, then a wide, then gives up on ball number 2 because remember ball number 2 was a wide, so they get another ball, another run, great Yorker, then 4 runs. I said, oh man, it's over here. It's done. Then, okay, ball number 4, another run. I'm giving you step by step what happened. Guys, ball number 4, okay, 1 run, 1 wicket. It was a great play by Arshdeep Singh. Great throw. Okay, they get Hardik Pandya out. But now, count up the runs already. You're talking about 1 run, 5 runs, 6 runs, 7 runs, 8 runs already. So you're thinking, all right, 8 runs. You're gonna be okay. Ball number 5, 0 run. Pollard hits it, doesn't get, almost gets out. They got to go to review again. Umpires were horrible. It shouldn't even have been reviewed. That ball was nowhere near Pollard's bat. Nowhere, no sound. And Pollard even afterwards had a conversation. I'm interested what he told the umpire. And I personally, this is me with my big mouth, I personally would have said something like, bro, you playing for the other team? You got a jersey under that? Just being real. Are you playing for the other team? That was horrible. Again, the umpires did Mumbai Indians no favor today. But on the last ball number 6, it goes, Jordan gets rocked. I was getting ready to lose it. Like, there you go. That's why he's not a death over specialist. I was right. Jordan crying Jordan face. And he did give up the hit. but Mayank Agarwal probably had the greatest save I've ever seen. It was a Piran-like save. He jumped. It was obviously out. He saved it from being 6, threw it in. They turned that to 2 runs. The difference between 6 runs and 2 runs there, I can't even explain it. That's what happened. But wait, you still got a hit. Okay, because now we're in the second super over. So who do the Kings throw out there? They've lost their 2 best players, right? They lost Mayank Agarwal. They also lost Piran, actually, because he batted as well. Anybody that bats, that's the rule, or bowls cannot play again in super over. So you lose Piran, you lose Mayank Agarwal and KO Rahul. Well, the universe boss came in, and the first ball hit for a 6. It was over right there, and I said it. I predicted it. I said he needs to come out and hit a 6, and then they can just take singles from that point on, and they're going to win. It takes all the pressure off, and that's exactly what happened. Universe Boss, he went ahead and rocked the first ball, got a 6. Then it was a single by he hit a single. That's 7 runs right there. Then it was Mayank actually played with him. Excuse me. He got 4 runs. Then another 4 runs by Mayank, and that was literally, the game was tossed at that tied at that point. And man, it was over. It was over. Last ball, 4 ball. On the 4th ball, they got 4 runs. They didn't even need to go the full 6 balls for the super over, guys. This was the most amazing game I've ever seen. It was long-winded. You know, I got chills thinking about this game right now. This is the greatest single game I've watched in cricket. Doesn't matter if it's Test, ODI. It was so exciting. It was heartbreaking for Mumbai fans. But again, if I'm a Mumbai fan, I feel good because we battled the umpires today. It would have never got to a double super over if they had just got that wicket right that Quinton de Kock also missed. But come on, you're the umpire. You get paid to do this. All right. You get an appeal, maybe look on it. When you get an appeal like that from a player, maybe at least look at it. What do you got to lose? All right, go to the review. That was unacceptable, and it is what it is. Okay, then they also tried to get him in the Super Bowl. It was just bad umpiring. So I'm sure Mumbai Indians fans feel good because they're like, yeah, we lost a great classic all-time game, and that's what Nick said. I talked to him afterwards about it. But honestly, guys, double super over. How often does that happen? Okay, Cricket for Us said he's never seen it. He's been watching cricket, 20 years. That's just unbelievable. He's been watching the IPL since the very beginning, and he's like, this is just unbelievable. Well, guys, that's my review. Bloody Sunday, or actually, it was bloody because a lot of guys got hit today hard, but there was also super over Sundays. We had 2 super overs, technically 3, because one was a super over. Renelle, this was I think it might have been Renelle's birthday because she always calls for super overs, and she got her birthday wish. Guys, this was a long one, but I had a couple 4 games, did my best, kept it under 2 hours. All right, much love. Leave me some comments, give me a like on this video, and I'll see you at the next game. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.